Hey everybody, this is Matt with mathsmath.com. Thanks for joining us here today as we talk about volume of pyramids and cones. How on earth do you find the volume of a pyramid or a cone? We're in the Math Common Core Standard of Geometry, and today we're going to be describing shapes and solving real-world problems, especially having to do with volume. Our guiding question is, how can you find the volume of a pyramid and cones, mainly by an experiment? A yummy one at that. Can you imagine taking a waffle cone and filling it with some of your best chocolate ice cream, and then thinking, if I made a rectangular prism the same shape or same height and width as a waffle cone, so it's no longer a waffle cone but a waffle cube or a waffle prism, man, can you imagine how much more ice cream you'd put in it? Well, about how much would you be able to put in it? Well, that's what we're going to think about today. If you think about filling up a cone, dumping it into a cylinder, or thinking about filling up a pyramid, dumping it into a prism, filling it up, dumping it, filling it up, dumping it. How many times do you have to fill up that pyramid to dump it inside that rectangular prism in order to get the same amount? Well, let's do that. Alright, so if we build a pyramid with the same base as a cube, length times width is the same on the pyramid, and then we're going to figure out, we know obviously that the pyramid is smaller than the cube, right? So how many pyramids would it take to fill up that cube? Well, if you're interested, I would definitely recommend you doing this. Make a cube with 2 inches in length, 2 inches in width, and same thing with the pyramid. It's got a 2-inch by 2-inch base, height of 2 inches. Now, not a slant height, but a height of the pyramid is 2 inches. And you're going to fill that pyramid up with sand or snow or whatever you want, some maybe yummy chocolate ice cream, and then you're going to dump it into that 2 by 2 by 2 cube and see how many times it takes you to fill it up. If you'd like to pause the video now and make that, I would highly recommend it. It's a great experiment. All right, if you did that, how many times did you fill up that pyramid to use the cone? Or to take the pyramid and put it inside that cube? All right, did you do the experiment? Well, how many pyramids did you need to fill up that cube or that prism that you made? Well, if you got 3, that's what it is. All right, and that's how we write our formula. If you remember from the past, our prism formula was volume equals area times height, the area of the base times the height. Well, with pyramids and cones, it's 1/3 of that. It takes 3 pyramids to fill up one of the prisms with the same dimensions. So here it is. A, again, is the area of the base. H is the height of the pyramid or the cone. And then you take 1/3 of it. You divide it by 3. All right. And then same thing with prisms here. The shape of the base does not matter for the volume. Okay, it can be a square, rectangle, triangle, pentagon, any of those. All right. And then for a cone, much like the prism there, and much like the pyramid, dividing it by 3. So again, with the cylinder, if you remember what a cylinder was, it was pi r squared h. Well, here you do pi r squared times h, and then divide it by 3, or multiply by 1/3. Okay? You got it? Pretty simple, huh? Not too bad. All right, so let's find the volume of this pyramid. Can't help but thinking of putting ice cream inside of it, huh? What about you? Yummy. All right, so here we go. We're going to do length times width. Well, the width here is 10 and 10. Okay, so it's 10 by 10. And then we could multiply it by 12 and take 1/3 of it. So 10 times 10, 100, times 12 is 1200, and then divided by 3 is 400. 400 inches cubed. Remember, it's going to be cubed because we're doing volume. And I do want to recommend that one of the things you can do too, instead of taking 1/3 of 1200, you could take 1/3 of 4 right off the bat, and then do 10 times 10 times 4, and that's what you get, 400, right? So if there's ever a number in here that's easily divisible by 3, divide it by 3, and then multiply all the other ones together, okay? Little trick there. All right, so let's define the volume here of this cone. All right, again, our formula is still the same. Volume equals 1/3 area of the base times the height. And then we're going to do pi r squared times h, and then divided by 3. Now, pi, 3.14. R is 3. H is 7. So we plug it in, 3 squared times 7. 9 pi times 7, which is 63, divided by 3, 21. And again, if you have 1/3 there, you can do 3 times 3, which is 9, take a third of that, which is 3, and then it's 3 times 7, which is 21 pi centimeters cubed. Not too bad, huh? Pretty easy. All right, why don't you do these 3? Notice on the third one here that I'm giving you the area of that hexagonal base. Isn't that nice? You don't have to do all the work there. All right, we have any trouble with any of these? Definitely check your work, see how you're doing. Remember, if there's a 3 in any of them, just divide it by 3 right off the bat, and then bam, multiply the other ones together. You'll be good to go. All right, here are your answers. All right. Well, this is a pyramid, and it has a base of 756 feet, and its height is 481 feet. What is the volume of this pyramid, this gigantic pyramid in Egypt? Think about how much sand you could fill up with this pyramid. For better yet, think about how much ice cream you could put inside this pyramid. Sure would be good in that hot desert. All right. Oh, back to ice cream. It's so good. How many cups of ice cream are there inside this cone? There are about 14 inches cubed in 1 cup. Okay, so here is the cone. This is the height of the cone. This is the radius of the cone. Find the volume and tell me how many cups of ice cream are actually inside the cone. Okay, assume that this is straight across. I know it does look a little different, but assume this is a normal cone. How many cups could you put inside there? All right, here are your answers. All right, if you want to know how many cups, take this 12.75 times pi divided by 14, and then bam, that's how many cups you should have got. All right. You ready to be done talking about this so you can go get some ice cream? I bet you are. Well, how can you find the volume of pyramids and cones by experiment? Pretty easy, huh? Just take a third of the volume of a prism or a cylinder, and that's it. Well, that's it for volume of pyramids and cones. This is Matt with mathsmath.com. Thanks for joining us. Check us out on Facebook at Solving Maths Problems and on Twitter at Maths Math. And enjoy math and ice cream.